Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. As you can probably see already in the title of this video, the story that I will be bringing to you first will be about a Ukrainian woman with a knife on Polish train, threatening with this knife a person who works on that train and who was doing his job and trying to check if she has a ticket for that trip. There is a video that is circulating around Poland. I will play this video for you because someone on this train actually recorded it. And of course, I'm going to read you more in details the article, what really took place. But you're going to see it in the video anyway. The second story that I have for you is from Germany, and it is about the Christmas markets, the holiday festive markets that take place during Christmas time, and how they have treated in Germany those vendors who already prepared them. What's taking place? Are they going to be open or closed? Very interesting video as well. Then I have some pictures of Keir Starmer. You know who he is, the Prime Minister of the UK. And I think when you look at those images, if you haven't seen them already, they will explain a lot of his behavior. And last but definitely not least, I will give you two recommendations for two videos to watch. The first one will be related to the topic of Starmer. So when you wait to the end of the video, you're gonna see what I'm talking about. And the second one is something I came across yesterday, and I watched it in full length, a video in which you will have the person who is the content creator of that YouTube channel interviewing someone who checked the financial records of Turning Point USA. That is one of the best, most informative videos that I came across. A lot of very important things have been mentioned there. So I will be showing this to you. So let's start with this woman on the train. Let's first read the article, and then I'm going to show you the video with this woman with that knife. But first, so you have some context, what was the story, is this. Of course, everyone is now talking about it because this is the story you remember in the UK, what just took place not long time ago. On that train, I'm sure many of you heard about a man with the knife who was stabbing people. So here is the story. An aggressive Ukrainian woman threatened Poles with a knife. She was hit with a suitcase, and you're gonna see it in the video. This is her. The aggressive Ukrainian woman refused to buy a ticket and threatened to use a knife. One of the passengers overpowered her using a suitcase. The video posted on social media was taken by one of the passengers. A description of the whole incident was published on the Facebook profile of Dziennik Ślęstanczy. I don't know if it's a mistake here. The incident took place on a train in Poland. The Ukrainian woman did not have a ticket. She began to threaten with a knife. In the recording, which you're gonna see, so I'm not gonna read about this, but I'm gonna read about the criminal threats that are punishable by imprisonment. The bob.pl portal has enumerated what threatens a woman if she is treated without privilege. No ticket cost is 750 Polish zloty, which is about $200 US, a little bit more than that. Criminal threats, including threats of violence with the use of dangerous tool, mean a fine or imprisonment for up to 3 years. In the comments under the video, internet users do not hide their outrage at the aggression against Poles who provided assistance to Ukraine and Ukrainians on such a gigantic scale after the Russian attack on their country. Well, the woman should have been deported with a lifetime ban on entering Poland. She is brave and brave, so she is most suitable for the front. So let me just play this video, guys. Now you're gonna see what really took place. Someone was recording it, and someone, luckily, likely took action. Then I give you a few comments from me what I think about this incident. So let me mute myself. Then you're gonna hear some Polish language and some Ukrainian language.
Znaczy, tak, na drugie, ale tam są tylko dwa perony.
Na Ukrainy, ni sława, ani
Tak trochę czuć alkohol, ale się wydziela, bilety nie chce kupić, coś tutaj machanie. Kurczę, i jeszcze nóż wyciągnęła teraz. Baranowski.
Пошел ты нахуй, иди сюда.
Tak.
Иди сюда. Иди сюда, польская свинина. Ивана, иди сюда, нет. Иди сюда, тварь. Иди сюда, подожди. Сейчас ты меня нахуй съебешь конем. Это вообще-то для моего мужа Головко, который сына отнял, сука. Отъебал меня. Хочешь сердце? Хочешь? Для тебя камень в голову нахуй. Ты сам съебешься. Мне ходить? Так, pошел на, иди сюда.
Jak ci tym bijemy, to ci kurwa plecami cycki miałem.
Pan usiądzie sobie.
Co?
Pan usiądzie.
Widzisz, nóż wyjęła, widzisz?
Wiem, to nie dlaczego, niech pan usiądzie.
Aha. To sobie kurwa.
Твоя мать, курва, которая родила такого дебила, как ты, горела гнёт скотина вместе со своей матерью, пошел нахуй. Тебя въебать напоследок камнем в голову.
Dostanie strzał.
А кто тут для тебя? Ты ж сам вышел, у тебя есть за нас
Na drugi wyjdziemy, ale w każdym razie...
So as you could see, well, first I want to give you here the comments from people who were, let me just see right here, the comments from people who were comment. Sorry guys, okay. So people say, beautiful with the suitcase. Someone says, well done, and now deportation and a lifetime ban on entry to Poland. If you have Polish PESEL, this is like Polish, the kind of like social security number, like you have your number, you should also take it. Zero tolerance for such a people. So what I think about this incident, I tell you honestly, I think there are two reflections I have from this. First is that she is mentally unstable. Could be, okay, could be. But you never know, because when people become aggressive, not all of them are mentally, well, they are unstable, but it doesn't mean they are mentally sick all the time, right? So this is first reflection. A second reflection, something seems like almost like form of setup or some sabotage setup, because even her outfit, when you look at her outfit, it's having those colors. It's like yellow and there is this blue. Let me play it without the sound. It's like very Ukrainian colors. It's kind of strange. I mean, maybe it's just coincident, but it's almost like you have yellow, you have blue. So I don't know. There is another point here, because this comes pretty quick, shortly after, not long time after that incident, horrific incident in the UK. And I don't know. And it's on the train. So have mixed feelings about it. As far as, I'm not saying that those people on the train were, you know, not acting properly. I think that guy with the suitcase did the right thing, but I'm just questioning, did she act it on her own or someone made her to do it? But, you know, I look at everything from many different angles, because I don't buy this like right away what they are showing to us. Anyway, this way or the other, they are trying to, even with this, show people that it's dangerous to travel, right? Even on the train, just like it was in UK. because it's getting more and more dangerous. And since we are on the topic of that, let's go to Germany and let me play you this video as far as the threats go.
Zeige, das habt ihr so noch nicht gesehen. Ich befinde mich gerade auf dem Magdeburger Weihnachtsmarkt. Das ist früher einer der schönsten Weihnachtsmärkte, wirklich weit und breit. Eine sehr, sehr schöne, friedliche Stimmung. Und dieser Weihnachtsmarkt wurde jetzt wieder aufgebaut. Alles ist fertig. Und 2 Wochen nach Aufbau fällt dem Landesverwaltungsamt ein, die Sicherheitsvorschriften, die werden so nicht eingehalten. Wir können diesen Weihnachtsmarkt so nicht eröffnen. Die ganzen Unternehmer, die Schausteller haben alles gekauft. Es ist alles fertig. Es könnte losgehen. Aber die Stadt Magdeburg muss im Prinzip Anforderungen erfüllen, die so niemals erfüllbar sind. Terrorabwehr, Zugangskontrollen, Waffenkontrollen. Einzäunen sollte man das Ding ursprünglich, um diese Kontrollen sicherzustellen. Und das sind Zustände, worüber rede ich hier gerade? Hier gab es vor einem Jahr einen schrecklichen Anschlag. Das war genau hier, wo ich jetzt gerade stehe. Und selbstverständlich muss man aus diesen Erfahrungen lernen und es besser machen. Aber die Frage muss doch sein, nicht wie schützt man Weihnachtsmärkte, sondern warum muss man Weihnachtsmärkte schützen? Schaut euch das mal an, das habe ich hier gerade entdeckt. Früher, heile Welt, genau so kannte ich das auch noch. Und genau so möchte ich das zurückhaben. Geht nach Tschechien, geht nach Polen, geht in andere Länder, die nicht die Grenzen geöffnet haben, die nicht ihre eigene Sicherheit für irgendwas hier verkauft haben. Nein, die CDU-Politik auf Landesebene, auf Bundesebene hat uns genau dahin gebracht. Wir verlieren Stück für Stück unsere Freiheit, wir geben unsere Art zu leben auf. Und wofür? Wofür? Das ist die Frage. Das möchte ich nicht. Ich möchte unser altes Land zurück. Ich möchte, dass jeder von euch hier friedlich über so einen Weihnachtsmarkt gehen kann und sein Leben genießen kann. Weil das haben wir nicht verdient, das hat unser Land nicht verdient und das haben unsere Kinder nicht verdient, liebe Freunde. Diese Bilder sollten uns allen eine Mahnung sein.
So like he said, alles fertig, everything is ready, and then decide to close it after they put all those vendors, they put all their shops and we're preparing for it. But there is another aspect to it, in my opinion. You remember during Schmovit was like the biggest test of how people comply. That's another story. It was a testing time on many levels. And also it was not really about Schmovit, it was about the solution that they implemented. But here, when I look at this is perfect example of similar approach as far as remove any form of joy from people's life, because when people are joyful and they feel uplifted, their energy is uplifted, so they feel better, they feel more from that level, from that standpoint. You can become more hopeful, you can become more courageous, you can actually become more active, you can change things. So to suppress every form of joy, to remove it from your life, so then you just shrink, and you're easy to control. So that's how I look at this. Now, let me take you to the video's recommendations. No, now we go to Starmer. Sorry, I forgot. Let's go to Keir Starmer. I'm going to show you several images because this will be in the context of a video that I am going to recommend to you after those images. So let's see. The first one we have, let me just scroll down. We're going to start with this one. So you see this little boy right here, right? And you see Jimmy Saville, who was one of the worst evil pedophiles in the UK. This little boy, allegedly, only allegedly, but don't be surprised because I show you more pictures if you haven't seen it already, is a little Keir Starmer. So here we have Keir Starmer. You might say, no, just looks very similar, it's not the same boy. Well, but the story continues. Few years later, we have Keir Starmer and Jim Saville. You might still say, no, Anya, this is, it's fake, it's AI, whatever you want to believe in, right? And kind of, we know that Starmer is a gay, another gay. Macron is a gay, Zelensky is gay, and Starmer is gay. Gay runs the world, but not every gay is a bad person, of course, but we are just pointing at those ones. And here, last but definitely not least, you have Keir Starmer and you have Jimmy Saville next to each other. So why I'm showing this to you is because this is my video recommendation for you. I'm sure you've seen this lady number of times. She was on many other podcasts, but let me just play the preview of this interview. Not easy watch. I haven't watched the whole thing yet, just started. I'm sure I'm going to do it, but I wanted to recommend this to you because I know that a lot of my audience cares about those topics, because that's also another thing besides the tiny heads that connects most of those so-called leaders.
The nobility offered their castles as places to hold the orgies, mostly using me for blackmail purposes.
My God.
When I was 9, there was a ritual. 2 children were given to this billionaire. There was a little boy with me, and he was a little bit slow. He was a little bit mentally handicapped. He was
In front of you. These kinds of predators, there are often rumors swirling about certain people, but nobody can say anything until they die.
You used to be a wrestler, didn't you? Is that right?
I still am.
Are you?
I'm feared in every girls' school in this country.
my mother. She was paid. She was driving me to the places, dropping me off, picking me up at dawn.
Do you have an idea of how deep this goes?
The hoarders of money and power.
This Bilderberg group, it's been linked to Tony Blair, Bill Clinton, Pierre Trudeau.
How far would you go with that? How far would you extend that? Just watch me.
Would Clinton be aware that this goes on?
These extremists feed on fear, hate, and terror.
There was definitely a Satanist. I see adult celebrities that definitely seem to have been programmed.
Are there children who were in the network with you who you think are still being kept captive?
Jaka powinna być?
So you saw in that preview Jim Saville there as well. Of course, I will attach the link down below in the description box. She gave many interviews. She written a book, I think one book, if not more. And why I play this for you is because I think it's very important to those people who are not aware how those elites, so-called elites or royal families operate. And also because that's how a lot of those so-called leaders, right, are being groomed. That's how their psychology is being structured, formed in a very young age. And when you grow up in environments like this, where abuse is a common thing, it's a normal thing, it's something happens to your psyche, and then you operate from that standpoint, from that place. So no surprise that we have those absolutely crazy nut cases. And you look at those people like Trudeau, Justin Trudeau, or Justin Castro, right? But it doesn't matter if his biological father was Trudeau or it was Castro, because he's gay as well. Then you have Macron with his wife or husband or father, God knows. And of course you have Starmer with wife who's faking like they are heterosexual. It's really all connected, and I know you know exactly what I'm talking about. So this is my first video recommendation. Now the second one It's incredibly informative interview that I came across yesterday, over 2 hours long. Again, I'm going to play you the preview. If you have time and if you're interested in how the Turning Point USA was operating as far as the finances go, how the salaries have been paid, what was set up in the official legal documents. And this is not conspiracy. This is not just fantasy. This is actually all proven. This guy who was invited, he did the audit on the filing, because this is Turning Point USA is non-profit organization. So they have the number and you can check it out. I'm not going to give you the details because I don't even, remember a lot of words as far as the vocabulary goes, right? But I understand when I hear it, the context of it too. So let me just play the preview, and I highly recommend you to watch it, because this is one of the best, I would say, investigations into what that organization was really doing. So let me show you this. And of course, I will attach the link down below in the description box.
So what caught my attention? I thought it was only Turning Point USA because that's all we hear about.
Yep.
But as you start digging into the IRS files, you find out there's 3 more. That sums it up right there. That's why they do that. Not to help anyone, not to make the world a better place. It's that. It's strange to me when the establishment says someone is a threat and yet they're being promoted. So this is a wild story here. Superfeed. Okay. Tyler Boyer was involved in this. Weirdly, I found the developers were in the Ukraine. And then it just gets even more strange, because if we go down to the next page, who's the director? Erica Kirk's mother, who was also, Turning Point gave almost $500,000 to them. For what reason? They're a publisher, right? They publish books. Oddly enough, Charlie Kirk's book was published by them. So this is the reverse of what happens, right? A publisher usually pays you in advance when you write a book. But instead, Charlie Kirk is paying them. And then same with Tyler Boyer. He would get maybe 300 on all 4. So that really caught my attention. I was like, wow, this seems like a real shady way to make their salaries appear less egregious. You can give a guy the benefit of the doubt, and I think we should, but I think when numbers get this alarming, it becomes harder to give the benefit of the doubt, you know?
This seems like pure corruption to me. And I'm just speaking for myself. In an ideal world, do you believe that this sort of activity could, in some scenarios, land some people in prison?
And the only thing I'll reiterate is I would just urge anyone that may think something's off with anything we're saying, go to irs.gov and we can provide what are called the EIN numbers. Every nonprofit has a unique number. Look for yourself. You shouldn't trust me.
Oh.
So just to clarify here, none of those 2 men voted. That's what they said. That's what they stated, neither for Trump or for Kamala. So when you watch this video, it would be good for you to approach it from the, facts standpoint. So you see the documentation, you see the numbers, you see the salary, you see the expenses, private planes, donors, Israeli money, etc., etc. And I think this is one of the most informative investigations as far as this angle goes, because I've learned so much from it. And of course, there will be mentioned of Erica Kirk's mother, as well as her father and their involvement with the industrial military complex and the deals and the books, etc., etc. So guys, that's all I have for you today. I hope you appreciate this video, a little bit shorter, but those are the topics that I wanted to choose for you today. Make sure to check your surroundings wherever you are. Be safe. Pay attention to your energy. Try to find joy in the simplest things in your life, and if you don't have it, create it, because they are trying to steal this joy in every possible way. And, you know, if you have Instagram, follow me there. It's AniaK_44. If you choose to support my work, the best way is to donate on PayPal or become my Patreon supporter. And I think that's it for today. Hit thumbs up if you appreciate the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and leave the comments. Let me know what do you think. Also, after you watch the videos or one of those videos, I would very much appreciate. And I see you in the next one. Lots of love. And remember, we are the leading edge and we are saving humanity. Bye, everyone.